The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Let's do it. Hello, hello, and hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, episode number 98.
Ocho.
Oh my gosh, if you can believe it. I cannot believe it. It's 98 episode tonight. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here. Sitting across from me is the Trailmaster of Puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whenever it is you are tuning into this or downloading. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Tonight is a special show because we have longtime listener and Patreon supporter Fernando
Yep.
coming on to talk about a topic he picked, and we think it's a great topic, especially this time of the year.
Yep.
It is. Should we just tell what the topic is? Yeah, so Fernando said he wanted to talk about the things that he's thankful for in each of the lands. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was awesome. And we're going to talk about that with him. But then Udi and I, before that, are going to go through the news, because there's quite a few news things to talk about. Let's see here just real quick. If you want to support this show in any way you can, we make it really easy. You can go on Patreon on our link on leavingtodaypodcast.com. Click on the Patreon logo, and then you can donate. We've got 3 tiers: $1, $3, and $5 tiers. And for that, you get to be on the show. And
like right now.
Just like Fernando, you get to choose a topic and be on the show. And then we're supposed to have things. Prize packs coming up, but we're slow on that. We promise we will get them out.
We've been talking about that for too long.
You're way too long. Okay, so there's that. There's Patreon. If you want to do any holiday shopping, you can click on our go to our page on leavingtodaypodcast.com and click on the Amazon link. You'll go to the LTP storefront, and it looks just like any of the Amazon page. You can order. Everyone's a winner there. And then, if you'd be so kind to leave us a review on iTunes. Give us 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, whatever. It definitely helps. It's been a while since we've had one. Maybe I'll make one up and throw it on there just to keep myself.
No, don't be a bot.
Okay, a bot. All right, so those are the opening things we have to get through. So we did post a question on Instagram the other day, and that was about the 4 Disneyland After Dark events coming up in 2020. And I love the fact that they're doing this. The first one we have is Disneyland After Dark 80s Night. And then Disneyland After Dark Sweethearts Night. I think that's 2 of them. And then Pixar Night is the 3rd one, Disneyland After Dark. And Disneyland After Dark Villains Night. So we asked the listeners what they would do. So let's go through some of the comments before I have not heard from Udi. What happened today? Oh yeah, we actually have a couple of things to talk about tonight too on Instagram. But let's get through this.
Yep.
So the first comment is from Joey. He said, "80s night. We live my Videopolis dancing and maybe Pixar night."
Right. Okay.
And I just told him, I go, Joey, dude, I don't think you've been old enough to remember Videopolis. I think I'm about 7 years older than him. Well, you ask him.
Yeah, I will. I mean, I'm going to see him tomorrow, but yeah.
Okay. So, and then Fernando, who's going to be in the show in a little bit, said, did you ever watch the Disney cartoon version of Robin Hood? There's a scene where the sheriff of Nottingham is collecting taxes. A hound dog tries to hide what little money he has inside the cast on his broken leg. It's a good hiding spot, except the sheriff, he's real good at his job.
Yep.
He finds the hidden money and soon separates it from the poor hound dog.
Yep.
Disneyland is the sheriff. I'm the hound. Every time I think my money is saved, that actually sheriff finds it and leaves me no choice but to hand it over.
Yep.
This is the kind of thing I can talk myself and some friends, family into doing. Absolutely right.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. But which one do you want to go to? Well, we'll have to ask him later. Mr. Bob said, would love to go to these, but they're usually during the week, and that makes it difficult being 5 hours away. Hopefully we can manage going to one of them. Yep. My Otter 32 said 80s night, maybe.
Maybe. Well,
maybe. Furrow Disney Cat said, so much pressure. We have to decide before next week. That's right. The tickets go on sale to AP people.
Yeah, pretty quick.
Tuesday.
I haven't got my email yet.
No, neither have I.
Interesting.
Yeah. This listener has followed us. She just started following it. Lily and Magnolia Travel. For sure, the Valentine's event and the Villains Nights would be fun. But I found out Villains Nights at DCA.
Oh,
Is that weird to you?
No.
I think
I'm kind of bummed.
Yeah.
I would prefer it not to be there because of the two. I would go. Well, I'll wait until you're done, and I'll give you which ones I'd go to. But yeah.
Okay, that is all the comments we had. Okay, so go ahead.
The ones I would go to would be 80s because
Yeah.
part of the main part of my park going experience growing up was in that decade.
Right.
And then villains. I think Disney as a whole has had some really good, fun, like a better word, villains out there, and I would love to go on a night when they're, what's featured. Yeah. So the couples night, I don't care. What was the other one?
Pixar night.
Yeah, Pixar. It would be number 3 on my list. It would go 80s, villains, Pixar, and then I would couples, whatever.
Okay.
Yep.
For me, I think I'm almost the same order for you. 80s night would be fun to go. Sadly and pathetically enough, I would not have to dig too far in my wardrobe to find clothes that fit in the 80s.
I would, actually. I got rid of a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't have my members only jacket anymore or my countdown pants, whatever those. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never wore them, though. I did not wear them, yeah.
No.
I've been a denim guy for a very, 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 very long time.
Yeah. But
because I was more metal.
Metal.
Still am.
If I don't think what other night. I mean, I love that they're doing this. So I
oh yeah, I mean,
sell out pretty fast.
No, and the more interaction that you have, that you can you can kind of tailor the experience, I think is fantastic. I like that. I agree with you. I like that they're doing that. Eventually, I want to get to one of them because we've missed how many of them? Quite a few.
Yeah.
Well, more of the newer ones, if you want to put it, like Star Wars. Or didn't they do a Marvel one too?
They did a Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, I would have had a good time, I think, at either of those. But if they do, it'd be a good one. Like what the Adventureland or Adventure.
Oh, the Tiki
Land?
one?
Yeah.
Oh,
or Adventure Day?
Yes.
Yeah. But make it bigger, like an After Dark with that. Would be fun. Maybe after Jungle Cruise comes out.
Oh, that would be something I'd go to. Yeah, that would be something I would actually.
I know you'd like that. You're like, okay, I'm down.
Yeah, even if it was a Tuesday, I'd probably find a way to get to that. Right. So. Yeah. Well, that's good. So, anyways, I'm glad they're doing that. So, actually, then the other Instagram thing ties into one of our news stories, so I'll have to bring it up then. All right, so that was the opening question. Now let's go check out the news. Okay, our first news item for this evening. Disneyland submits plans for a new vacation club tower. Disney has submitted a conceptual development review application with the city of Anaheim, proposing to build a new 12-story tower on the Disneyland Hotel property for its popular Disney Vacation Club timeshare program. This is from the OC Register. According to the article, the new 12-story tower would include 350 units for DVC, a major addition to the 70 timeshare units the company operates at Disney's Grand California Hotel. Disney Vacation Club has 14 timeshare properties in Florida, plus one in Hawaii and one in South Carolina. The new tower would be located on the west side of the property on what is now called the Magic Kingdom lawn. Longtime Disney fans may remember this as being the site of the long-shuttered Fantasy Water Show. The existing guest laundry and fitness center will be relocated as part of the project. Yeah, I know exactly where that is. Yep. Last October, Disney abruptly canceled to build a fourth hotel at Disneyland Resort after clashing.
Politics.
Yep, after clashing with the city of Anaheim about tax incentives related to the project. That 700-room property was to have occupied the west side of downtown Disney. To make room for the proposed development, Disney closed 5 downtown Disney locations, including an AMC theater, the last operating ESPN Zone restaurant, Rainforest Cafe, Poplar Grove Sandwich, and District's second Starbucks location. We all know that Earl Sandwich and Starbucks have both opened. ESPN Zone is...
it can go away.
Yeah, it can go away, but unless he wants to be a Funko. Yeah. But the Rainforest Cafe and AMC Theater remain shuttered. So it says, do not be confused with the DVC property for a new hotel. It's just for DVC members. That's what we have going on right now. I mean, some of the details, it's typically offer a mix of studio, 1 and 2 bedroom villas, and a 3-bedroom grand villas. What do you think about this?
Well, my opinion is they can do better with that space and doing that.
Yeah.
I think you're taking an area of downtown Disney that could generate more consistent revenue, and then making it more, in my opinion, a lot more pigeonholed. And you've gotten your wide net of money, of income, and you've gone like down to nothing. Very directed. So I mean, it's not a horrible idea. I'm not like, oh my God, this is dumb. But I'm kind of like, really? We can't do better?
Right.
You know, I'm not opposed, but I think they could do better. I think it's not the best idea.
No.
And, you know, because, I don't see a huge upside for them. A hotel, of course, I mean, you're going to have the revenue of people coming in and out and in and out. When you do a timeshare, a little bit different story.
It's a lot different story.
So, I don't know, and it's not it doesn't sound like a huge property. I mean, big, but I don't know. I don't know. I think they could do better.
Yeah, I think they're kind of missing the mark with downtown Disney.
Yeah.
I don't think they have and you would think that they would, but I don't think they have a firm grasp of what their demographics are for this park.
Well, I think a part of it is because they're trying to unify all the parks and give it more of a singular feel, which I think is incorrect and an error. I think we said it before that this park is different. It was built with Walt, by Walt, and the other ones weren't. You're going to have a different vibe. Different company built it, the whole thing. This one is different, and they cannot continue to try to make it, you know, vanilla. Like,
no.
So if I go to Hong Kong, or I go to Paris, or I go to, you know, or I go to Florida, I'm like, no, I want a unique experience everywhere you go. Part of the reason to go. Why are you going to make it vanilla? I don't want it to be the McDonald's, okay?
No.
I don't want it to be like, okay, I'm going to go get my quarter pounder that I know is going to be the same here and here and here. No. Have variance. So I feel like they're trying to do that, and that probably is Chadwick and a few other people trying to like, okay, we need to make money, but they're trying to uniform everything because it makes it easier for them to operate because they don't have to have so many unique entities to deal with. Kind of lazy, I think. So, yeah. So, no, I think demographically, I think there's a part of that. You're correct, but I think it's more corporate being corporate. A corporation being corporation.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's definitely corporate being corporate. But I think Disney needs to control a moderately priced hotel for families.
That would be perfect, and that would be booked. It would be booked 100% of the time.
It would be.
There's no way around that.
Right. So yeah. Anyway, so that's moving on to that. So I don't. Any idea how much DVC costs? I have no idea.
No idea. No. Never even looked because it's not something I would do. Again, the majority of the population of this country, won't do it.
No,
not their thing.
Not their thing.
No, and if you're gonna do it, Yeah, I don't know. I disagree. Again, local park predominantly. What does a local want with a timeshare over there? They don't.
No,
Nope.
no, they don't.
No.
But but it's great in Florida.
It makes sense in Florida.
Yep.
There's more to do in Florida.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Maybe, okay. Maybe. Okay.
Yeah, different vibe in Florida. Again, you can say it over and over and over and over again. You cannot make Disneyland like Disney World. You can't do it.
Can't. No. All right. Next item: dueling pianos at the Golden Horseshoe.
I'm excited.
Yes. If you wander into the Golden Horseshoe at the right time on a given day, you might find yourself in the middle of a piano duel. The new showdown at the Golden Horseshoe opened last weekend, and someone sent their thoughts on the new offering. The reporter. The show opens as one pianist takes the stage and plays a melody of songs, including "Hello Everybody" and "Pico Spell" from Slewsu's Golden Horseshoe Review. He tosses out a few jokes and comments on the empty second piano on the stage, explaining that his musical partner left to chase after Miss Sally Mae. He's looking for a replacement pianist, and right on cue comes a dapper gentleman from the audience who introduces himself as piano virtuoso, the Carnegie Kid. Yeah, the rest of my notes aren't even on here.
No, but I don't think we need more.
Oh, yeah. So
I mean, you got to get a feel for what's going on.
Right.
I'm excited to go see that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I don't know how long it is or what's going on with that.
I get the feeling that it's going to be there for a while.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, they should have shows there routinely every day.
Yeah.
It's part of the charm.
It is a beautiful stage up there. I'm like, use it.
Yep.
It is there.
Yeah.
Has great history, great lore.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Why not add to it?
Want to add to it? All right, next item, the new Tomorrowland entrance. Disneyland last week released concept art for the redesigned entrance to Tomorrowland, showing new planters in place of the rock formations recently removed as part of the Project Stardust renovations throughout.
No more
Disney.
French fries.
Hashtag no more French fries throughout Disneyland. Work has mostly wrapped up for the holiday season, and the new entrance will be finished next spring. One sharp-eyed Twitter user noticed that the latest concept art released by Disney bore an uncanny resemblance to a photo taken around 2001. In fact, it appears the new concept art was overlaid onto that photo. You can see the comparison below. Well, actually, I didn't add any of that stuff like that. Some people claim the new photo even shows a rocket rod vehicle in the background behind the astral orbiter. Nah.
And does it matter?
No.
No.
So, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, Funnel of Death is hopefully going away.
Yeah.
Yep. And if it looks better than what we've got, I was never a big fan of the redo way back. When was it again?
97.
Yeah.
98, yeah.
When they redid it, I walked in, I'm like, what?
Got bronze and everything?
Yeah. I never didn't fit. So, yeah, I mean, obviously going to reserve judgment until I see it, but right now, as it looks like a step in the right direction for me.
Yeah. I like in the planter boxes. I like the fact that those sculptures there. You see those little towers on either side. Mm-hmm. Those are the same thing that are above that Tomorrowland Terrace. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I do like that. Yeah. And I was thinking, well, I wonder if they're the same thing on top of Space Mountain, but they're not. They look similar, but they're not. Anyway, I mean, I think the Space Mountain is just a bunch of spires. Those are not.
Well, it has that flavor, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, right there, if you look at the concept art, it is still kind of Funnel of Deathy, but not as bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Astral Orbiter, which is what we're going to talk about in a couple episodes in the future, it still has that steampunk type of design to it.
Yeah.
Dude, what do you think about that
I'm
design?
not a fan. I've never been a fan of steampunk.
No, God, I just don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. But in lieu, and I'm going to go back to it now. The rumor, I'm going to bring this up. Okay. My understanding, because I heard from somebody, and the somebody that I'm about to say, you know who you are, knows a certain someone who may or may not be an Imagineer.
Okay.
And they may or may not have said that the very next thing on the schedule is Tomorrowland.
Really?
And it is going to be a biggie.
After Well, after Marvel or the whatever they call
Yep,
it,
yep.
Adventures at Campus. Yeah.
The campus, yeah.
Yeah.
So we may be getting a huge shakeup in Tomorrowland later than I would like,
Yeah.
but sooner than what we were thinking.
You mean they will announce it before the next D23 Expo?
Maybe at D23.
That's two years or less than 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like I said, it's all hearsay right now.
Okay.
But right now, hearsay counts for everything. Never mind.
It does.
I'm not going to go there.
Okay.
If you guys know my reference right there, DM me. Tell me if you what do you think I'm referencing right there. I'd be curious to know how many people
Right.
would know that. I know you know.
I do.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm not a fan of the steampunk. Never have been.
No.
Probably never will be.
No.
So yeah, I mean, to me, it's very meh. Like, not horrible, but am I like woohoo? No, not at all.
No.
But yeah, I mean, if that rumor is to be believed and is true, I wonder what they're going to do. And again, I'm going to keep on going back to my desire and hope for Tomorrowland is like, can we go into the future? We're at a point where we can look into the future and go out there.
Yeah.
Mars, the galaxy, renewable. I mean, I don't want to go. I will rehash and talk about it for another hour.
Yeah. Not to get you worked up about
yeah.
it, but does it bother you that right now, if you were to go to in Tomorrowland at this moment, they're playing High School Musical thing in that Tomorrowland theater?
Yeah, I'd be irritated.
They are. I mean, why are
Dumb.
they playing that there?
It doesn't belong.
No.
Across the Esplanade, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even Honey, I Shrunk the Audience didn't belong there.
No.
You what in Tomorrowland?
Not horrible,
Yeah.
but not good either.
No. That show was entertaining. I enjoyed it, but it doesn't belong in Tomorrowland.
Nah, well, the only argument you can have is because of a scientific experiment.
Yeah, okay. That's true.
There you go.
Maybe a slightly weak argument, but
Oh no, it is, and I'm not vehemently defending it either.
okay. There you go. Right on. Okay. Well, actually, I did talk about that on Instagram. We did pose the question on that. That was one of the things. So let's see what people said about it. Oh, Jose said, this is in regards to the new Tomorrowland entrance. Oh, wait a minute. The punster, I'll go by that. But the punster said, where's the plaque? Yeah, exactly, right? Nostalgia said, get rid of that stupid Astro Orbiter. It's a freaking eyesore, especially at the entrance.
Yep.
And then I said, agreed, but where would you put it? And then he said, what I would do is take it apart and throw it in the dumpster, bring the original rocket jets back and put it where it belongs in its original elevated spot. We're going to get to that a little bit later in a few episodes. Jose said, I only hope it is truly the beginning of something awesome and not just the entrance. Jose.
Well, you heard what I just said. So, yeah.
Yeah. Fernando said, this does nothing for me. It's like getting socks for Christmas and they're the wrong size. As long as there are some actual improvements in the land itself, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. All right, we'll see. Mr. Bob says, so they're going to get rid of the new grass that's recently been installed, or will they replace it with flowers? I also agree that the Astro Orbiter needs to go. That whole area needs to be opened up, as it's currently a terrible bottleneck and it's difficult to go in or out of Tomorrowland.
Hence, we coined it Funnel of Death.
Funnel of Death. Yeah, he's right. Absolutely right.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Marcus said, I like the Jules Verne idea. See, I don't. Jules Verne is that steampunk stuff.
Yeah, no.
I like the Jules Verne idea, but they didn't carry that through properly. Or a swanky atomic future-omatic throwback would be cool. I don't know what that means.
No,
Going retro means you don't have to renovate.
Yeah, no, and I disagree with that, because then you're going against the namesake of the land. And that's why I'm like, any of the stuff that goes backwards, I'm like, no. No, we're not in yesterday land, Tomorrowland. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm gonna politely disagree.
Okay, and that's all good. Lillian Magnolia Travel said, honestly, I like it. It opens up the land and makes it seem more welcoming. With those rock structures, I felt like a disturbed crowd flow and took away from the land.
Correct. Yep.
Absolutely correct. I agree with that. Okay. So the big question of the next news item is, will the Matterhorn be back?
Oh, I'm afraid the deflector shield will be quite operational when your friends arrive.
It is. Thank goodness.
Yes. Well, finally, after months of only having one track opening, it is back at 100%.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Be happy.
Yeah, so both sides are operational. Midday wait times are very reasonable, 20 minutes. Good. All is right with the world again.
Yep.
When both A and B are
I know, right? And then you're like, again, no need for a fast pass. The ride is a quick loader and a quick ride. No need to get crazy.
Get that fast pass out of there. Okay.
Failure. It's a failure. Anyway.
It's a failure. Yeah.
Yep.
Next item, and this is a question mark. Drones. Question mark? What's this?
Oh, yeah. Eric, one of our listeners, Eric, sent me that email, and I didn't respond to it, and I apologize for that, Eric. I've emailed him about other things since then.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about that.
So the story is that there have been some large drones flying around Disney World in the shape of X-Wings and I guess TIE fighters or something. But we don't know what that is yet.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, again, I don't know if we need it. Like, cool, sure. Is it needed? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, we have the sound, and for everyone who hasn't been to Galaxy's Edge yet,
What are you waiting for?
I highly recommend it. It's choice. But yeah, we have sound effect coming out of speakers already. I don't know. We keep on joking about when you go by the docking bay, you will hear shuttles, taking off and landing. And how many times did we get caught looking up? Oh,
Right.
there's no shuttle leaving, but I want to believe it.
Yeah.
So again, I'm like, do we need it? I don't think so. Could it be cool? Yeah, but I'm really, really on the fence about it. I really am, because I don't know how it's going to add. Would it be cool? Would it be techie? Yeah, but I'm like, why don't we move that over to a certain land that needs more? We don't need TIE fighters and X-Wings fighting over Galaxy's Edge. Maybe we can have airplanes and drones and stuff flying over a certain other land,
Like Critter Country?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Or Main Street USA? Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so, I mean, when it comes right down to it, if they do it, okay, I would like to see it. And then, right now I'm very on the fence about it. Yeah.
That's a solid answer. I think it'd be interesting if they can get to work and not cause issues with them crashing or whatever, because those are a little bit bigger than I thought they were going to be.
They're big. If what I'm imagining, they're pretty big. And I was talking to our mutual friend Leon about that, because he knows a bit about drones, and we were having a conversation because I kind of brought it up, and he's like, "Yeah, those things are big. Like, they're going to be near car size."
Yeah.
So if they're that big, we have to think about where they're going to be flying, how high they're going to be flying. What if there is a crash? What if there is a malfunction? So many things. That's why I'm kind of like, where in Florida, as I view it in my head, there's probably a good spot where you could fly it. And if there is an issue, it would cause very little damage if they go down. Over here at Disneyland, I'm trying to think of where can they fly it. Only place I could think they could fly it would be where they shoot off the fireworks from, which would be on the backside of the spire. And then I'm like, okay, if they do it over there, then okay, then you kind of eliminate a lot of potential risk. So I don't know. We'll find out if they do in fact do it. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that's all the news we have, unless you want to talk any Mandalorian stuff.
I can, real quick. I want to say Disney Plus is amazing. I really, really enjoy it. The Imagineering program, I cannot recommend for our listeners enough to watch that show. Okay? We talk a lot about history and, different attractions and their history and how they got developed right then and there. If you watch that program, it gives you a window in. And I know Mark is like, oh my gosh. And so am I. I haven't watched the newest one, which would be episode 4 as of today, because I literally have like, if I watch it right now, I'm tired. I want to like be awake.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't want to miss it. I don't want to fall asleep and have to rewatch and rewatch. I'm like, I want to be able to focus in, because every episode so far has been amazing. Mm-hmm. And I would recommend that you guys do that. The Mandalorian, I'm trying to think of the right word. It is an amazing show. It reminds me of a couple of things. It reminds me of how it was to watch TV when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. It reminds me that, hey, good storytelling can be done correctly, and that there is enough people out there that care about the galaxy that I grew up with to actually do it right. Mm. So, is it perfect? No. Do we have critiques? Of course. Overall, though, if you give me like you need to score it from 1 to 100, it's good 97, 98. But again, if you haven't seen it, where have you been? Go watch it. Even Jess.
Oh yeah.
Confessed to me, and it made me literally almost cry, that she had watched every episode, and that was 3 at the time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She goes, I've seen every one. I went, wait a second.
Hold on.
I like, let me grab a tissue because I'm going to cry. I'm going to have a proud dad moment right now.
Yeah.
Start crying over the fact that she's watched every episode, and not only watched them, like them.
Yes. Oh, well, good.
Anyway, so for all those people who have lost faith in Star Wars, I'm going to go rumor mill real quick since we're here. In the news segment, there are more and more articles starting to pop up that with Kathleen Kennedy, they extended her contract for a year or 2 now. It was a while back now. They haven't re-upped it yet.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, and then you know what the rumor mill is heavy and hard right now? Do you know?
I have heard.
Filoni?
No, I heard Jon Favreau.
Favreau and Filoni. The rumor right now is what I, as a Star Wars fan, was dreaming about 2.5 years ago. After the debacle in my mind that Last Jedi was, I said, who can we go to recover the franchise that we grew up with? And I went to Filoni because at that point, Chad, who's on my other show, he made a very good point. He goes, over the last decade, the only good Star Wars content, well, not the only, but the only real content we've been getting had been coming from Filoni in the form of the Clone Wars, Rebels, and now Resistance. So, when you look at it, that is all good content. I know Ricky goes off like nothing animated. I'm like, how? I'm like, you're a director. You're a creative person. How are you this shallow? How are you so narrow about, more content? But anyway, but the rumor mill now is coming out from a few different outlets now is they may be taking over the reins because Filoni got passed over the position as creative director, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
And they gave it to somebody else, and everybody's like, how? I'm like, how? How does that happen? And so the only thing that makes sense now is because they're going to be like, no, here's a new president of Lucasfilm, which we'll find out. I would be ecstatic because, like I said, everything that has been Star Wars for the last decade has been him. And for the most part, other than the movies. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. There we go.
All right. So they don't. When are they supposed to make an announcement about Kathleen Kennedy?
I don't know. Okay. There's nothing concrete, anything. It's a lot of speculation and a lot of hearsay. A lot of hearsay. But again, hearsay counts for a lot, apparently.
Apparently it does, right? Who needs facts? Yeah. What was I going to say about that? So we are 19 days away as the crow flies, right? From episode 9.
I'm gonna have a hell of a week that week.
Yeah,
I made that realization in my head. I'm leaving in less than 2 weeks on a jet plane.
And you don't know when
I'm going to come back. I do know when I'm going to come back, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's funny. I used to, when Jess would leave, I would text her that song.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, leaving on jet plane, because I was always jealous she was going to the park. But anyway.
Of course, when we did searches for Leaving Today, that always came up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go to the park. We're going to do our meetup with 3 other podcasts. And we're going to build I'm going to build another lightsaber. I'm going to be with Joe as he builds his first one. So he's going to cry like a little girl, which is fine, because I practically did too. We're going to come back on that Monday. I'm going to have 2 days of work, and then 3, and then I'm at episode 9.
On Thursday night?
Yeah. So,
okay,
that's going to be a crazy week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Or I'm going to go Friday night.
We got to go. We all got to go.
Yeah.
We'll figure out when
we will
but,
go. Yeah, for sure. Unless you hate it.
I'm not going to go there because I'm picking people.
2 hours and 38 minutes.
People
right?
are trying really hard right now to hate on the movie, and I've said it a million times. You haven't seen it, but again, hearsay counts for everything now.
Yeah. This may be the longest of all the movies.
It is.
Okay. 2 hours 38 minutes.
Yep, it is.
Okay.
Longest prior, I think it was 2:13.
So what? I mean, since we have a couple minutes here, what is? Do you know what the future of the show?
No.
I mean, are there 3 more coming out?
No.
You don't know?
No, the way they have hyped it, this is the end of Skywalker trilogy.
Yeah, Skywalker, but Star Wars will continue.
Oh yeah.
In film, and
well, okay.
not just
so
Disney Plus.
They were a rumored 3-movie, a 3-movie project headed by the guys who did Game of Thrones.
That's gone now.
That's gone now.
You're right.
Or they're gone. Other than that, I don't know. Ryan Johnson said he's still working on. I'm in Sweet Jesus No.
You know what?
Sweet Baby Jesus No. Ryan Johnson is not a bad director. Okay,
No.
but he doesn't understand Star Wars.
But here's what I think, and I may be off, or maybe I'm a little,
You probably are, but okay.
I think he's just the scapegoat for an agenda that had to be pushed, and he was the only person who didn't say no.
Yeah, and that makes him culpable.
Yeah, I don't think. I think a lot of why the Last Jedi sucks. It still sucks. It's always going to suck, is because there was an agenda that needed to get pushed.
Yep.
Not by him.
No, I think I will agree again, but a willing accomplice is guilty. You know, in the real world,
I agree.
In the real world, man, if you help somebody commit a crime, guess what?
Yeah.
You did the crime too, even though you didn't physically do it. So,
right. Which is why I kept saying that back then, if I really loved Star Wars and I had my dream job working for LucasArts and Lucasfilm, being a writer or something,
you wouldn't last very long.
I would have been pissed because I would have saw the script and said, "What is this?" And I would have probably, I don't know, I probably would have not said anything because I needed a job, but I've been, this is horrible. Anyways.
Well, you know, the rumor mill right now for Rise of Skywalker is everywhere from it being horrible and people are walking out to it being glorious.
Who's walking out?
Again, rumor mill. I have videos come up on my YouTube feed and they're saying, "Oh, disaster, screenings, people are walking out." I'm like,
would you want to go to a screening of that right now?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think it's going to be that bad.
No, I really don't. Now, that being said, am I worried? Well, yeah. Because, if you would ask me that before Last Jedi, if you're worried about how it's going to end, I'm like, no. It's in good hands. And then we got Last Jedi. And, there's part of me, my wishful, hopeful, positive, optimistic side is saying, maybe depending on what they do with Rise, we may have, and I pose a question to many people, and I've gotten all kinds of answers on, maybe it would make Last Jedi better. I don't know, though.
Well,
we'll know in 19 days.
We'll see.
Oh, we shall see. But anyway, yeah.
I'm not sure I'm ready for this emotional thing, and it might be emotional.
It will be.
Yeah.
It will be for a lot of reasons.
It will be.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to that.
And then that's the news.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right. Now let's go to our feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
Hey, LTP listeners, we've got a special guest on tonight. This is one of our longtime listeners. We hope he's a fan. I'm guessing he's a fan of the show.
God, I hope so.
I hope so. Gus, what if he hates the show? Oh, okay.
We can ask him right now.
We will ask him. Anyways, you've probably heard us reference this person before. Now it's our chance to meet him. And his name is Fernando. And he's not from San Diego, but he's from Southern California. Hello, Fernando.
Hello, guys. How's it going?
It is
going well. Yeah.
It's going well. It's a very wet Sunday evening here in Northern California.
Yep.
So we're not quite used to the rain yet, but it's going to be raining for the next few weeks, right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, how are things down in the southern half of the state?
Somewhat wet, but over here, like if it gets just sprinkles on the ground, it causes massive pileups. People don't know how to drive.
Yep.
Anything below 60, and we're bundled up. We're not equipped for wet or cold weather down here, so everyone's kind of freaking out.
Well, funny, I grew up down there, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember growing up and going, oh my God, it's 60 degrees is freezing out here. Now I'm like walking around my house, and I'm like, it's 65. It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, absolutely get
Yeah, we're
used
kind
to
of spoiled.
No, I know. Very, very much so. I mean, when you have, you're living in very agreeable weather for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah. So Fernando, tell us quickly, and that's not to be quickly, but tell us about your Disneyland story. How did you get started liking the park?
Well, for me, I think it's a little similar to Udi's story. Where younger, it was always my family coming up from, in my case, Mexico. And I think Udi said South America. Was it Peru?
Chile. Yep.
I'm bad.
Chile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's a once-a-year type thing that if we had family coming up that year, part of their vacation, they wanted to go to Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
So that was our one time a year to go, usually in the summer. We were kind of broke growing up, so my Disney experience was, if we get to go, we get to go. This one time, not a whole lot of souvenirs, kind of just trying to make the most of that one trip.
Mm-hmm.
And after, I don't know, like 12 or 13, I didn't go to the parks for about 12, 13 years until I got married.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We did a little, like Southern California kind of honeymoon, because again, we were young, dumb, and broke. Mm-hmm. And we went to a few different places here in Southern California. We had a couple different like beach resorts, did beach-related things, and then one of the things that we did was Disneyland. So we went to Disneyland again. It was just a one-time thing. And then the following year, because this makes total sense, right? Following year, my wife is pregnant. She's getting cravings for a very specific restaurant, Chinese food restaurant. We drive to the restaurant. Turns out they were closed that day.
Oh.
And we were just sitting around the parking lot trying to figure out what the next move is. Logically, like, hey, let's just go to Disneyland to get passes. That
Sure.
was about 8 years ago. I've been a pass holder since. Now I've got 2 kids with one on the way. They've gone to Disneyland more in their first year of life than I had up until, my adult life. So it's something that has pretty much become a pretty big part of our lives since we go, multiple times a year. But I always have that appreciation for it and understand the frustrations with how expensive it's become, because when I was younger, like, it was something, hard that we couldn't always do, or
Oh yeah,
if
absolutely.
we did do, we're pretty lucky. Now I'm in a position where, we can go all the time, but it doesn't mean that I don't get people's frustrations with everything,
Right.
price-wise and stuff. But that's pretty much it. Coming up as a kid, too broke to go, and we didn't get to go. I was lucky, and now as an adult, I go all the time, but I still appreciate the I still have that same mentality that I had when I was a kid, that this is kind of special, and just because I have access to it more now, I don't want to take that for granted.
Yeah.
I don't want my kids to take it for granted
Right.
either.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, it doesn't diminish it at all. When you go, I think when you're raised, I mean, I was raised with it being, we went multiple times a year, as much as we could. And we took it as a blessing, but it never diminishes no matter how many times you go. I mean, now Now I think it's probably the same thing for you. Is like, you know, now even though you have a lot more access than we do up here, but even then you're like, okay, let's go. It's gonna. You look forward to the adventure you're gonna have because you know, there's nothing quite like it. I actually had a conversation with my aunt who has never been, and I was kind of like, huh? Because she was like, I was, mentioning over Thanksgiving, like, hey, I'm going to Disneyland in a couple weeks, and I'm super excited. Like, why are you going again? I'm like, didn't you just go? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so, yeah, I mean, and then, but yeah, no matter how many times you go, and I kind of told her, well, when you want to come, I will come with me,
Yeah.
and I will show you. It's like, I don't want to go. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I mean, no matter how many times you go, as long as you have that kind of, you connect with it, it'll never get diminished, I think.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Disneyland's kind of like that movie that you can watch a million times that you know how it's going to end, but you put it on and you're going to watch it the whole way through, or like comfort food.
Yep. Empire.
You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Empire for me.
Empire for you?
Empire Strikes Back. I'll watch it over and over. Now The Mandalorian, over and over again. Yeah.
So right now, Fernando, how long does it take you to get to the park from your house?
Now, since I moved out back into the middle of nowhere, I had like a 20-ish minute drive. Now it's about an hour 15, depending on traffic.
Oh, wow, okay.
I would make that drive.
That's still about 5.5 hours closer than us.
Correct.
Yeah, see, everything's relative, right?
Yeah,
I'm
very
complaining
true.
about my drive now, but
Yeah.
I'll shut up now. Hour's not bad.
No, not at all. All right, so we kind of teased your story at the beginning of the show here when we were doing the news, but your topic was, since it's Thanksgiving and it's the start of the holiday season, you wanted to say something that we're thankful for about the park in each of the lands, right?
Yeah, and I actually got to thank you for that because last episode, I think you kind of went off on a little, not rant, but a little diatribe about how you were thankful for everything in the park, and then it just hit me like, oh, there's my topic.
Oh.
So I had been thinking about it for the longest time, couldn't think of anything good, and you inspired it, so I appreciate that. So right off the bat, that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for you for coming up with my topic.
Oh, well, you are very, very welcome, Fernando.
Hey, you're good for something. Woohoo!
Yeah. No, yeah, I think that, now that I remember, I think I say quite a few things that I forget, but no, you're right. I think it was about Veterans Day, and just, it's easy to think about things that we wouldn't have. I mean, we like forget, but if things went wrong in the world, we wouldn't have this beautiful park to be complaining about and dissecting and getting upset about and yet coming back to every chance we can.
Yeah, no, and going back to my conversation with my aunt just a couple of days ago, that was part of my conversation. Like, I dare anybody to go in there and be in a bad mood, and then you have to be thankful for that. Like, where can you go where you're having a crap day or you're having a crap week or whatever, and when you go there, you're going to be in a better mood? How can you not be thankful for that?
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Agree. Okay. Well, that being said, do you wanna lead off the charge? Are we just gonna go land by land and then work our way around, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, we'll start off in California Adventure because I don't think that's gonna take too long. All right, we don't have to break that down.
I didn't even.
We can just do it in general. If there's even anything to be thankful for besides alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah, no, go for it. I have a couple things, but yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, I guess first off, alcohol. When you're running around with 2 kids, soon to be 3.
Congrats, by the way.
Break, so
yes.
if I can get a chocolate milk for the kids and a beer for me, then I'm good.
Yeah.
No, I'm also thankful for I appreciate right now it's a festival at holidays. They do the food and wine festival. It's kind of hipsterish, but it is a pretty cool little thing to see where you get to try different kinds of foods, drinks. Sometimes we'll have different craft beers, and it's that Disney kind of mix, but also very Southern California in the way that they present everything. You're having fusion-like foods and different kind of things to eat. I think kind of that's where California Adventure needs to go in terms of their theming or how they want to do things, is just accept that you're not going to be Disneyland, but you can be, Southern California and kind of embody that. So I'm thankful that they're kind of going that way with those particular parts of the park. Usually the food and the drink.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, you want to go ahead, Mark?
Well, no, actually, just before we get for much further, Udi, I think we're both trying to say congratulations on your third child.
Yeah.
Just coming up.
Thank you.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
you're-
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm going to keep it Star Wars name. I'm thinking maybe Chewbacca.
Joey, yeah. There you go.
Can you count? If it's a boy, go Hondo. If it's a girl, go Sabine. Those are my votes. Hondo and Sabine,
There you
or Hera. Hera wouldn't be bad. Hera. Are you a
Oh,
Rebels
very good.
fan? Are you a Rebels fan?
I've tried watching it with the kids, but they're at that age where they don't want to watch it with Dad, and they take over the TV. So
Well-
I haven't really gotten a chance. I barely get a chance to watch The Mandalorian without them asking a million questions. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I watched a couple of the episodes with my nephew, and he's 6, and he's like, "Wait," and I'm like, "Cooper, just watch, buddy." And my dad and my brother's like, "Yeah, just watch. We'll get there. We'll do the Q&A after the episode."
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so DCA, thankful for.
For me, the one thing that I always enjoyed about DCA, even though I haven't had a chance to go in there for a while, which I'm going to make it a point to go in there when I go in December, in a couple weeks, is going to go into basically where all the art is, the animation.
Art of animation.
Yeah, the art of animation to me is always is what the company was built on.
Right.
And for me, and being that my dad is a very gifted artist, grew up, he taught art in Chile. And then my brother, being a gifted artist too, and he's a great tattoo artist now, and he has been for a while. Art has run through my family, and having that there and understanding, and me trying my hand, and I'm not an artist. I tried to draw, and I don't have that. But that is one of the things I'm thankful for, because it gives you a better appreciation for the animation if people don't understand how animation works.
Yeah.
It's a good way of showing that. And then I want to say the other thing I'm grateful for is kind of giving it, it's weird, but the different vibe is nice at times. Being able to go Soarin' is great. And now Tower, and now with Monsters, it is a different experience, and it's fun. I mean, it is a break from the traditional Disneyland,
Yeah.
but it is great.
Right.
So I'm thankful for having, that now you basically have an option when you go, which we didn't have growing up.
Right.
We have that option of do we want to go theme, or do you want to go more amusement feel, but still having the Disney vibe overall.
Right.
So I'm thankful for that, because the other thing that DCA has exposed me to at certain times in my life were different kinds of music, believe it or not. They had a show in the what's the amphitheater?
By the World of Color?
No, the big amphitheater by the by the tower by Guardians.
Hyperion Theater?
The Hyperion, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Where they have Frozen now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The F word is there. But I watched a couple concerts in there from different musicians that turned me on to a new kind of music. It had trumpet music, and it was a very kind of bolero kind of thing,
Yeah.
which I'd never really experienced before in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I, just walked in and sat up there, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I wound up watching that same troupe up here in Sacramento a couple years later. So I'm thankful for that, because it's a good place to go. It's different and still enjoyable. You can do it in a half day, but yeah, that's what I'm thankful for.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
the
that's
whole
good.
bringing it back to your art and your family. I don't get how people can picture something in their head and then put it down to a piece of paper.
Yep.
I try, and the best I come up with are stick figures. And
Yep, me too.
Yeah, that's,
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, my brother right now is currently working on our new logo for the Mando show.
Is he?
And yeah, he gave me the concept art the other day, and I'm like, that's very cool. So yeah, we'll see when that comes out. Yeah.
Oh, you got to get Jacob in on that, too. Jacob from Wondersmack.
Oh, I do.
Okay. Anyways, we're off topic, as we always do.
We never do that. What are you talking about?
Oh no! Now we're gonna talk about Magic Mountain. No.
Oh my God.
No. So DCA, gosh, what am I thankful for? I mean, when you first brought that up with the food and wine thing, I have been to that. I have not been to the Festival of Foods yet, but the Food and Wine Festival I have been out to, and I thought that was just wonderful. It's just I love the concept, and I'm thankful that they can present those things there in that way, because that stuff wouldn't really fly in Disneyland itself.
Not
It
at
just
all.
does not
Yeah.
fit.
No.
And
Where would you put it?
You wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I'm thankful that we get to experience some of the stuff that the Florida crowd gets to, and that's how they can do it in DCA. Because if it crashes and burns, you don't really care. It's just
Yeah.
DCA,
No. You're
right?
like, yeah.
but thankfully it does work well. I'm also thankful that we get to have new experiences over there with Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think that thing's great. And I'm glad that we've got new stuff over in Pixar Pier. Although I'm not a fan of Pixar Pier.
We got It's Lemon.
Yeah, yes. There you go. I'm thankful for
Are
It's
you thankful
Lemon.
for that? How did I forget that one?
Yes, It's Lemon. So actually, I'm going to go with that for a second. We have, because food is a major topic with us, especially at Disneyland. So they don't really, you have your traditional foods at Disneyland, but DCA seems to have a little more of experimental stuff, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful that you can just get just different things, and they change them out, and so I'm pretty thankful for that, and that's, I guess if you, as Udi said, if you if Disneyland's getting too crowded, you can hop on over to the Esplanade and just get a completely different vibe and go at your own pace, because I do feel the area that where Grizzly River Run is probably the best themed part of DCA. And it rivals some of the stuff at Disneyland for me as far as theming goes, up there.
Okay.
What is that area called? Grizzly Flats? No.
Yeah.
Is it called Grizzly
I
Flats?
think so.
Yeah.
Now I got to think about it.
Shoot.
But I think you're right.
Why am I drawing a blank? What is that called?
No.
I mean, it's got Grizzly in the name, so you got that right.
I'm
Yeah.
good with that. Yeah.
no. I'm thinking of Condor Flats is what that
Oh,
it used to
yeah.
be.
Oh, man.
But you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Oh, the area. Okay. All right. So now where are we going?
So now I guess we're going across, right? We'll just go.
Unless you want to do
I guess
downtown
land by
Disney.
land.
No.
Oh, we're not doing downtown Disney?
No.
Okay. Okay, so the next land is what? Main Street?
Main Street.
Yeah, we'll just do Main Street, and then I think we'll close it out with like an overall just Disneyland thankful.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
We're going to be here a while now.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So Main Street, I'm thankful for the little hall where Great Moments with where Mr. Lincoln's at. I like
Good
doing
one.
that every once in a while. It's pretty cool. Kids think I'm boring. Like I'm in that part of my life where I'm trying to balance being like a young dad and still hold on to that last bit of coolness I have, but also accepting that like I'm a dad and I'm not going to be cool forever. So
That's true.
when I lean more into my dad's side, that's one of the things I do. Great Moments. But also inside that little hall, they have a lot of art exhibitions that will kind of change seasonally.
Yep.
Right now, they have, I think it's the 50th anniversary of the Haunted Mansion, but they have a lot of like concept art or art that was leading up to that. And last time we were there, I wanted to go see it and take the kids in, but we were with a group that was visiting from Australia, so we were kind of just trying to hit like all the major,
Yeah.
big things.
You're
But I
there-
do want to go
yeah.
back at some point this month and take the time to just walk in there and see some of the art. I like when they cycle things through there. It's kind of cool to share that with the kids.
Yep. Agreed.
And then to top it off, you get to watch the Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln that I feel like if you haven't watched it at least once, it's worth doing it and checking it out.
I agree.
Kind of getting a little bit of that old school Disney, historical kind of perspective. You're also learning something.
Yep.
It's also super, for the time, it was, one of the most technically advanced attractions out there with the animatronics. So you're kind of getting a whole lot of what Disneyland really is and kind of an unexpected, underappreciated part of the park, I think.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
Wow.
Plus, he hunted vampires too, so I mean, it's not
Right?
like,
I mean, what is not to like about it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and you know, I totally agree with you on that one. Is one of those things that really speak to what Walt wanted for the park. It's really encapsulated right there: entertaining, innovative, educational, and then walking through and seeing all the different things in the history is fantastic. I mean, everybody should, like you said, at least once go in there. And I think I've been in there probably half a dozen times and sat through it, and it's great. So I agree with you on that. When it comes to Main Street, the biggest thing that I'm thankful for is basically the how can I put it? The transformative. I took it. Yeah, I took it from Mark. Yes. He's making a face like, oh, yeah, the transformative nature of Main Street. We've said it before that when you walk in there, the way it changes your mind and psychologically with how you walk through, not only with your eyes, but you smell, and then you have that vibe going through where you go, very, and very kind of happy, very upbeat, and you have that feeling of like, preparing you for, it's a mental, it's the go-between between your adventure.
Yes.
And so Main Street has always been that for me, always having that moment of, and then again, closing the day out, kind of coming back, but then, you're kind of wrapped in the Disney hug goodbye.
Yes.
As you're going out. So Main Street, that is one thing that I'm super grateful about Main Street for, is how it just mentally prepares you for your day and then gives you that goodbye as you're leaving.
Yes, it changes one's
Awesome
disposition entirely coming into the park, and it does set the mood for the day of how things are going to go. So I'm thankful for that, but I don't want to copy you because I think what you said was very, very accurate. But I'm thankful, I guess, should I say I'm thankful for Gibson Crow ice cream on that?
You can.
Okay.
Fantasia. Fantasia ice cream, good.
Fantasia's good.
Yep.
But that seems like a silly answer to me because it's not as deep. But no, you're
You're
right.
welcome.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm gonna just have to say that the same thing with Udi is that, you go to Hometown Square and you walk down, and when you stand up on the train station, and just look down, and you see it's like bustling with life, and people or everyone's in a great mood. Maybe there's some kid crying, but for the most part, it just puts you in this very, very good mood where, okay, I have a day full of memories I'm going to make with my friends and family, and I'm going to maybe get to check out something new. I'm going to revisit something that I love, and there's another spring in my step, a skip in my step as I walk through. So I'm very thankful for what that does to me. Yeah. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course, ice cream.
Well, yeah. Like I said, Fantasia.
Fantasia.
Yeah.
Ooh, Fernando, what is your favorite ice cream flavor there?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's a good one. You know what? I haven't been able to have like ice cream to myself in forever.
Okay.
Usually it's what do the kids want? Because if not, they'll try out for their own. And I mean, they'll eat their own ice cream. They're 7 and 3, but at some point they're going to be puking, all over the side of Main Street. So try to avoid that. I usually I'll order what they want and just kind of take off with what they what they don't eat. But we do get to tell them off of them. As far as flavor, though, I don't want any more. Joy's Parenthood.
What? Which one?
I said I don't have one anymore for the Joy's Parenthood.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The Joy's Parent. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, then we're going to move. Now we're going to keep on going down to the hub, and we're going to hang a left, I think, like we have a tendency to do.
We do.
That would be Adventureland. So what do you got?
You know what? I think I know what Mark's going to go, so we'll should let him go first.
Oh, I'm thankful for Tahine, of course.
A liar, you lie.
No, I mean, it's no secret. Adventureland's my favorite. I gotta say again. I mean, of course, my obvious answer is going to be the Jungle Cruise because every time I'm going on that, I just get lost in a sense of wonder. Even though I know what the gags are, I know all this stuff. I know everything about this. I just get lost in wonder about it, and it just puts me in that mood. And I just love the noises. I love this. I mean, I love the drums in the background. I love the torches. I love thinking like something's gonna happen that I'm not expecting. But so that's just I'm bought and sold with that. So I'm very thankful for that whole experience of the Jungle Cruise. So yeah.
Right, go ahead, Fernando. I got mine.
But, well, I think I'm more in line with Mark, so I didn't want to take all the talking about Jungle Cruise because I think that would be mine. Have you guys watched any of that Imagineering show on Disney Plus?
Yes.
Yes.
You know, I like when they're talking about the building of Jungle Cruise and showing how crazy it is that like this little place. You know, the need to do it is to make it look like you're really in the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of Mark was saying, like, you're in there, you already know what's going to happen, but there's like a sense of something different might happen this time, and it's just so well done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, I love it. The kids love it. My son Luke, he's 3, so he's at that age where he's still not 100% sure that the animals are real or fake.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to have a little bit of fun with him, and yeah. That's a good time, especially at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So yeah, that's mine.
Yep.
Okay, solid answer.
While I am grateful for Jungle Cruise, obviously, the one I'm going to go with is going to be Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room.
Ooh, I did not know that was coming.
So, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Why? Because some of the fondest memories I have growing up is in that room with my mom.
Okay.
I've said it before on the show. My mom loves the Tiki Room. Mm-hmm. Loves it. You know, because she would get caught up in the magic of the whole show. And as a kid, you know, we went. There was no way around it. My mom's like, no, we're going over there. And, you know, even from the little, you know, from when you're going in the queue and you have the different god, even the small touches, then going in and then having the entire show. And now knowing a little bit more history now growing up and recognizing that it was going to be a restaurant, there's a bathroom, and all these little kind of kitschy things, you're like, oh, cool. It adds to it. But, yeah, I'm thankful for that because of what the fond memory I have and some of the funnest things we had growing up and going to Disneyland. That is one of the things that sticks out in my mind the most. Is sitting there next to my mom and her singing and clapping. And just, I mean, again, adds to the magic of the park is our touches like that. So, and then, you know, having Walt being like, no, we're going to do this and I'm going to pay for it. And, you know, again, knowing, as a kid, I didn't know that.
Right.
But now I do, and that adds, again, to my appreciation of that attraction. So, yeah, mine is Walt Disney Enchanted Tiki Room.
Nice.
Caught you off guard, huh?
I was totally caught off guard.
Surprise.
I hope people listening get the song stuck in their head now too.
And the tiki. Yeah. I mean, I tell you what, you know, I've often, everyone knows my dislike of a certain other attraction with a very repetitive song, but that one I don't mind. Right. I don't mind that song being stuck in my head.
Yeah.
The other one, not so much. But yeah,
that's very cool.
Yeah. Okay, so now this is going to be interesting. We're moving on now.
We are.
We're going to see. Well, Fernando, go for it, man. We're off to New Orleans Square.
So New Orleans Square, so I'm thankful for it's a certain time of night and then a location. So you can also kind of give away a little bit of a secret, but the French Market, if you can get there and eat dinner a little bit before Fantasmic starts, but you don't want to watch a show, it's a great time to do it because it's pretty empty. People are lining up for the show. And then the secret is you get there with enough time so you can eat comfortably, not be rushed, and then go on Haunted Mansion right when the show is starting, the Fantasmic show is starting, or a little bit before, because then you pretty much walk right on the ride. Then when you get out, you can either go a second time or you can make your way over to Pirates real quick and get on Pirates, go through that ride, and get out and beat the crowd to the line. Usually you can do, sometimes we've done Pirates once or twice and Haunted Mansion once, or the other way around. but you want to get there, let's say, like 30 to 40 minutes before the show starts, eat, and then do a quick walk. And I'm thankful that we kind of discovered that by accident. You know, with having passes, we don't have to watch every show every single time. You know, we've seen it plenty of times. But there's something about going to Disneyland and not getting on Pirates or Haunted Mansion that just doesn't feel right.
I agree. Agreed.
So yeah, if you can knock them both out, especially for us, we usually get there a little bit later in the day. So, you know, in the morning, sometimes you can walk right on and it's not a problem. But sometimes those queues can be 30, 45 to like an hour long. And if I can just wait, have dinner, and then have a 5-minute wait, why not just do that? So anyone listening out there that hasn't done that, I would try it out at least one time. And then if anything, you can watch the later second showing of Fantasmic, do the dinner, and run through the rides during the first show.
Solid answer right
Yeah.
there.
Fernando's pro tip.
Pro tip. Yeah, there you go.
All right, you want to go, Mark?
You can go, Eddie.
Well, okay. So for me, it is a mixed bag because they both are pretty even. Would be both Pirates and now Mansion. I can't really divide them up. They both have a significant. I have a significant love for each one for a different reason. One of the main reasons why I love and thankful for Pirates is that it's Walt's last attraction that he had, hands in. And then, that being said, it was also, as a kid growing up, one of my favorite ones to go on. The adventure of it, going off and being pirates, seeing skeletons and gold, and the story and everything behind it, you know, and then the way it finishes, and the burning prison, and all of it was just, as a kid, I'm like, oh my God, like amazing, I love it. And then now, and as I've grown now, and not riding Haunted that much as a kid, again because of a lot of different reasons. I said it before, but now as my new appreciation for Haunted has come up, like I don't know, I can't split those up. You know, I can't go, I'm more thankful for that one or that one. So really, it's going to be like I'm going to cop out and go basically both of them.
Oh yeah.
You know, and for different reasons. But I'm thankful that like I said, we have Pirates. It's a great story, great imagination. Again, how do you take some despicable people and make them, likable
Yeah.
and enjoyable and something you're going to laugh at and have a good time with when they're like raiding and marauding and pillaging and and then we'll hop on over to Mansion. How do you take something ghost and death and spirits and how do you make that fun? And here we are, and going back into the history, knowing that they were going to have some House of the Strange or original?
Museum of the Weird.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
And those kind of ideas and concepts that were coming out, and then understanding that Mansion sat there with the exterior built for how long? 3 years? 6 years?
Oh shoot. We need Jeff back on.
Yeah, I know, I forgot. But and then you have that great mystery behind that, and then you get in there, and the attraction is fantastic from beginning to end. Gets you into it. The cast members are fantastic. That very dry, very somber, and they play it up, and it is fantastic. So, they each have a very significant place in my mind for different reasons.
Oh, good answer. Yeah. Solid answer right there. I'm going to jump on the Pirates bandwagon because it seems to be popular. But for me, I have this memory. I've got memories of standing in line for Pirates. Like in my mind, it's these warm summer nights in Southern California where you're just there with your friends or family members, and you're having some of the best conversations about nonsense, standing in line, and you wrap around if you go to the left, you get to bang the door or the window, and they bang back at you. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then you turn the corner, and then you get the first smell of that stale air, which is like, oh, okay, now. So I'm thankful for that and the memories it brings back.
Yeah.
And it's my daughter's it's one thing that we always do too. As Fernando said, if you don't go on Pirates, you feel like something's wrong or missing with your trip, and that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
It's that essential thing, and I still marvel at how that thing was even done, how it was even built. It's an engineering feat in my mind. So I'm very thankful that we have that. Even though Jess has been on the Shanghai one and it's technologically superior to ours, it can't replace how this one was built and what it meant in the time of themed entertainment.
Yeah, the history behind it is untouchable.
It's untouchable. It was a complete game changer. And I know we use that phrase jokingly, but it was, and it opened the door for everything else. So I am very thankful for that attraction in New Orleans Square. Yes.
Very awesome.
Okay.
Especially when you said that smell. Like, it kind of hit me. When you turn in the corner and walk in, and you get that. That's a very, very distinct and something that I think everyone that's listening that has been on that ride knows exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have we gone in it now together, and I think we both do the same thing when we turn the corner. We both going to walk in, we kind of go, take a deep breath, and like,
That's exactly what we do. Okay, we're
we do it. Yeah, we go, and we're in Pirates. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, do we want to go with Critter?
Sure. We got to do it. We're not going to do Toontown. We don't talk about Toontown, do we?
What town?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about Toontown.
Are you okay? Oh, you think?
I'm thankful I never got into a fist fight with anyone in my family. I got that going for me.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So Critter Country. Do you have something for that, Fernando?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Okay, let's do it.
So, when I had mentioned that, my Disneyland life growing up was we'd get to go once a year. If that, it was usually with my stepdad's family. He'd have family that was coming up from Mexico, so he would take us. And he actually ended up passing away on the day that my daughter was born 8 years ago. It was tough for me and my brother, but it was even tougher for my other younger brother and sister because that was their dad. I had a kind of a hard time, like, trying to help them through that. So one of the things that we did was we got Disneyland passes for my sister and my mom, and my brother, he got and paid for a pass for my other brother. So when that happened, one of the things that we did was, just to kind of try to take their minds off of it was, take to Disneyland as much as we could. And on one of the trips that we went, we talked them into going on to Splash Mountain. She was not a very ride heavy person. She didn't really care for anything that had even like the mildest of the drops. So for me and my brother to get her on that ride was it's pretty hard. So we did it, and then we have a picture of me, my brother, and my mom. We're kind of just screaming in her ear, and she's got her eyes closed as tight as you can close them. And you can tell she does not want to be on that ride, but she's doing it because her two idiot boys forced her into it. And then she passed away last year, so I'm thankful that I have that picture. With her, and it was just the memories that we created, the whole being in line with her and her being nervous like a little kid. Me and my brother just egging her on and telling her, well, we're going to make you sit in the front, and all this sit in the front. And that moment of that look in her eyes of like, why did I give birth to you guys? And she realized she couldn't take it back.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool to have that, and that's the kind of stuff that you get at Disneyland is things like that you think maybe are inconsequential at the time, but then you look back and you're like, okay, I'm glad that I have that. I'm glad that I have that picture.
Yep. No.
Of my mom and my brother, and that you could see, the emotion and everything was leading up to that, and something that you can never take away.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I mean,
solid answer.
Yeah, some of the greatest memories I have growing up, include my entire family, and I lost my sister earlier in the year, and we have. We connect, like exactly what you said. You have moments in time where at the moment you don't think it's anything big, you're just having a good time. And again, this is the beauty of the whole park, and we can definitely elaborate at the end of this, but I think that's one of the beauty of the entire park is that you can form memories and a special thing can happen that at the moment you don't realize, but you're there. and then you can think back with a very fond memory and like, oh man, like you said, I'm so glad that we have that moment. And yeah it's fantastic. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. I you know, my thankful one is gone. I mean, Splash Mountain for me. I mean, I'm glad it was a home for for the friends of America Sings to go find a home. That was great.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. Splash is fun, but mine was Country Bear. I miss it to this day. I think we lost it for a dumb reason. I will always say that. And I think I would love to see it back, but I'm thankful for that because again, growing up, and this is going to go back to growing up, it was one of the things that we went and did. You had to go see Country Bear. We had to go sit and then the talking moose heads. I mean, you go on and on. The
Air
entire
conditioned
show.
in there, too.
Air conditioning was great.
Yeah.
But again, it formulated, a memory in my head and just added to the beauty of the park in general. So yeah, I'm thankful that we had that attraction. I had that attraction growing up.
Oh, for sure.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, that's right. Rest in peace. Unless you're in Florida, I guess so.
Yeah, no, kind of a bummer. I get irritated, but we'll move on.
We'll move on. Critter Country. All right. So what I'm going to say, and you're going to laugh at it at first, but it will make sense. So I'm thankful for the Hungry Bear restaurant.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So because there is a certain moment, and it's my Disneyland moment when it happens here, and pretty much only here. And it's in conjunction with some design, and that's with the trestle crosses, Critter Country, and it's the only place that does that. It's when you're, and so the Hungry Bear restaurant, for two reasons. When you're standing in line to order, when the train comes by, guests wave at you, and you wave back. You don't know these people.
No.
They don't know you. But they're just like, oh, that guy's standing in line to get a burger. I'm gonna wave to him. He seems nice, and they'd be right. But you just wave to them, and okay, that guy's doing his thing, and they're on their train, and they're happy. That is your Disneyland moment, okay? And that happens at the Hungry Bear.
Yep.
When we go and we sit on the other side of Hungry Bear, and we recorded, people pass on the Sailing Ship Columbia or the Mark Twain,
and we're waving.
We're waving to us.
Yeah, we're in the middle of recording, and we're waving.
And they're waving back, and that is a Disneyland moment. You don't get anywhere else. It's like
agreed.
Everyone's just doing their own thing, enjoying their own little part of the park, and that's what I'm thankful for. Is that, and that happens only in Critter Country.
Good answer, Mark.
That is really, really cool. Yeah, that is awesome, man.
Well, thank you. You thought I was going to say the onion rings, right?
No, I wasn't sure what you were going to say.
Oh, okay.
River. You might brought up the rivers or Columbia or Mark Twain.
My gosh!
I mean, Tom Shore Island. We can go all there. I mean, there's a lot of things.
Oh.
I will toss that in because I don't know if we have a good spot. Would be Tom Shore's Island again. A lot of it's going to be growing up because it has very, very fun. I have very fond memories of growing up as a kid and going on that island.
Yeah.
Yep. So here's the question, and I don't know, Fernando. Galaxy's Edge, are you ready for that one, or do you want to bypass that? Are you not?
Oh,
Well, I'm asking him if he's got one yet. I don't know how many times you've been in.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I've been there a few times. I like it, but I don't think I've really done anything super significant. I think I mentioned it one time that watching the fireworks from there was pretty cool.
Yeah, we did that.
It's awesome. It's a well done land, and if you're a Star Wars, nerd, you're gonna like it. And if you're not, you'll probably still like it just because of how there's so much detail that's in there. But I think it's still kind of a sore spot for a lot of people. And if anything, that like you guys have mentioned it too, they can be thankful that you don't have to see it. You don't have to go there if you think it's going to affect your Disneyland experience. You can totally bypass it, like it's not even there, and still go about your day and eat a beignet or a churro and be perfectly fine.
Yep, and that's kind of why I asked, because I don't think I don't have anything yet that I can dig into and be thankful for. I mean, I'm thankful it's there, but nothing like solid. But I am. You brought up a very good thing that I brought up with. I keep on bringing up with people who are worried about Galaxy Edge who haven't been. I'm like, you can bypass it altogether.
You can.
I brought that up with Jess when I saw her the other day. I'm like, because she's I don't know. And I said, dude, just go. And you don't have to walk in. It will not affect your day. Period.
Nope.
And maybe I can go there. Maybe I can be thankful that they accomplished one thing that I was worried about was being able to put the delineation between the park and that land. And my God, did they do that.
Yeah.
So I can go there and I'm thankful that they actually accomplished that. I don't know how they did it, but thank God they did, and they did it extremely well.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, you do not have to go in there. You can literally act like it does not exist, and you'd be fine.
Or, you know what, real quick, just to Star Wars people out there, I guess I am thankful that it happened during the prequel time. You know, those movies are being made. Otherwise, we'd have picture opportunities with Jar Jar Binks. And that would be bad for everybody.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, you know, it's funny because we recorded yesterday our episode for Chapter 4 of the Mando show, and Chad is a Mando. He's a Mando Merc in the 501st. And we he had a little bit of a party, and he had people who cosplay show up, and we had nothing but, like, I swear to God, it was like 8 hours of nothing but Star Wars talk. And Jar Jar came up, and it was funny because, you know, for as malign as he is, we've kind of gotten used to him around.
Yeah.
And I remember making the analogy, like, I said I hated L7.
Yeah, L7.
And they're like, really? You hate L7 more than Jar Jar? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I had to defend my position on why I hate L7. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, we can move on.
Okay.
Yeah. we always going to run off on a Star Wars tangent at one point.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess for me, for Galaxy's Edge, I'm just thankful that the technology is there and that the Imagineers can develop this stuff and create these landscapes for us. It's still too new for me to have anything that I'm really thankful other than the fact that they're able to create this world. Mm-hmm. But I don't have any crazy experiences yet from there that I've been John.
Can't wait till January.
Yeah,
Rise.
You and 50,000 of your closest friends. Yeah. Okay. Now, where we go? Oh, Frontierland.
Yep.
Okay. Who's up?
Fernando.
Oh, Fernando.
Yeah.
All right, so would you count the Mark Twain as part of Frontierland?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, that just, it's one of those things where you get on and it doesn't feel like you're anywhere but on a boat in the middle of like a random, river during a time period way before you were allowed. Like, it transports you, and then the narration, like everything just takes you away for a little bit. Like whatever it was you were thinking about, even if you're having stress in the park, like once you're on the water and kind of slowly going along, waving at people, having them wave back, like it kind of helps you reset and refocus and get lost a little bit. So I'm thankful that that's there. Plus, it's a pretty cool looking boat. Like, what's not to like?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Have you done that at night?
I have.
Yeah, it's awesome, huh?
Yeah, but it's been a while. It's been a while since I've even been on it in general. So I think I need to go back.
For sure.
I need to make it a priority. It's something I haven't done lately.
Yep. And I have my desire to I still want to record on top of it when we're on the very top deck when it's going around. Yeah.
There was a time when they served mint juleps off of the Mark Twain. They should do that again.
I agree. All right, Mark, go for it.
Ooh. Let me see. Oh, I guess I'm thankful for the Golden Horseshoe. Just because it is where Walt had his wedding anniversary a few days before the park opened, and I think it's for its historical context within the park. I am thankful for that. I'm thankful that it's always a spot where I go with with my youngest daughter, and we get root beer floats, and we can hang out. And sometimes, well, she's 19 now, but there are periods of time where she needed to, I guess, be in a timeout or cool off, and that was a spot where I could always take her to and maybe go up to the balcony and hang out there because it's kind of neat to get to go up there. And so I guess I'm thankful for that little area of Frontierland is the Golden Horseshoe Saloon.
Yeah. Do you know what mine is?
I my guess was going to be Big Thunder.
Okay, it is high up there.
Okay.
I'm thankful for Rancho.
Oh God.
I am thankful for Rancho de Zocalo. It is the one place, and everybody knows now. I mean, a lot of people know that I like it's the only place I eat.
It is.
It really, really is. I love eating there, and I don't know what it is, but I love the ambiance, and I'm thankful for having that. And then that's one good place to get really good water.
Oh, you're right.
For all those who don't know, there's a little cart where you can fill up with fresh, good water, not tap water. It's purified. It's really good and cold. Well, kind of cold. But anyway, yeah, I am thankful for Rancho because it is a good respite. You know, you can go in, you get a ginormous salad. I eat enchiladas because their sauce is, Anyway, it is really good. I'm thankful for that because we go, you can sit outdoors, you can sit indoors. And it's
beautiful.
It is gorgeous. It has a fountain in the front, and then, like I said, and you're kind of central, and you can kind of hop to where you go from there.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that we have Rancho, and it's been there for a long time, and I'll be there 3 or 4 times in about in 2 weeks.
Good. Awesome.
But yeah, I'm thankful for that.
Okay. So let's take Big Thunder Trail back over to Fantasyland.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we could have said Big Thunder Trail we're thankful for.
Well, yeah.
Okay, but we didn't.
Nope.
Okay, so we're in the Fantasyland.
Ooh.
Okay. Fernando.
Fernando, you're up.
For me, just in general, I'm thankful that on those like really busy, hectic summer days where you're packed in like sardines, you can't turn an inch without bumping into someone or being run over by a stroller. I can always go there and knock out a few rides with the kids. The dark rides. The lines are never really that long, even when the rest of the park is busy, or even when it is kind of busy, it's not too long of a line. They're usually in the shade, out of the sun, and they feel like they did something. So you can knock out something like, maybe Pinocchio, Snow White, do the carousel, Casey Jr. come back and do either the Teacups or Mr. Toad or Peter Pan, which has like a perpetual 30-minute line.
It really does.
I don't know what it is about Peter Pan. There's never less than like a 35-minute wait for that ride. I think that they pay people to just stay overnight and stand in a queue for that line. Like,
they must, right?
I've never seen that less than, you can have that magic hour and walk in and it'll be your first place to go, and it's 35 minutes. It's like, where do these people come from? I've been here.
Like, what are you talking about? I just walked in. I was right behind the rope drop. How am I waiting half an hour already?
It makes no sense. But no, I'm thankful that I have that option where sometimes with the kids, when they can get a little bit restless and they feel like they've been just walking around all day or not doing much, you can spend a couple hours there, do what feels like a lot to them, and then kind of just take it from there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not thankful for those 35-minute people at Peter Pan. If you're one of those people, I'll just keep my thoughts to myself. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah. It's funny because I opened up my app and I'm like, let's prove Fernando. Let's fact check Fernando. Yep, 30-minute wait for Pans right now.
Yeah, as we speak.
As we speak.
Yeah, death, taxes, and a 30-minute wait for Peter Pan. That's the applied certainty.
Only things you can guarantee in life. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, okay. I kind of have a couple. I'm going to go a little bit more broad. I'm thankful for the castle. I'll go there. I mean, I like Pan's. Pan has been my favorite attraction there forever. The sensation of flying, yada yada, all the different reasons I've said it a million times before. But I'm thankful for the castle, and the reason why is because of a couple things. One, it is iconic now, and I've said it a million times. Like, the castle now is the Disney logo. I mean, any way you cut it, you see the castle and you're like, Disney. And I think I'm thankful for it because it automatically opens up kind of your imagination. It opens up like, hey, you're going to be a different land. It's going to be a land of wonder. And for me, it goes back to being a kid. So the castle has gone through different paint jobs and whatnot, but every time you see it, coming down Main Street, you're like, you're tunneled to look at it. And every time you're there, I mean, there's a couple things that, well, I'll go into it when we get around to Tomorrowland. But that is one thing I'm grateful for, because it just lets you know that you are like it visual representation of like Disneyland, fantasy, childlike wonder, and having the moat, the water around it, the portcullis, drawbridge, all those kind of things just brought up, to me it was, as a kid growing up, with King Arthur, Knights, Round Table, all that kind of cool, cool stuff. And I've always enjoyed that. And so I'm thankful that Walt put that castle there.
Yeah, and the foresight for that.
Yeah, and had that focal point, not only to have it there, but make it such a focal point when you walk in, once you start coming down Main Street. And it's fantastic, because you could have it off to a corner, and it would lose, I think, some of its, sway. But being a focal point is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, great answer, Rudy. Thank you. That's a little deep for you.
I know.
Okay.
And I don't usually, when it comes to Fantasyland, I kind of gloss over and I kind of clown on people a little bit for it, because it's a little kid's land. But, again, a lot of these things are rooted in our childhood. So, yeah.
Yep. And so I'm going to go on with the iconic structure theme. It's got to be the Matterhorn for me, just because I'm thankful that, as we've talked about before, whenever we were driving, after 6 hours or 7 hours, and we always would play a game, who's the first one to see the Matterhorn?
Yeah, mine was Space Mountain. That's why I was waiting for it. But yeah, you brought it up.
Okay, and it's like, even though when the first time you and I drove down there, we were like, oh, we both got excited.
Yep.
There's a Matterhorn. Okay, we're here.
Yep.
And so, it's always there. It's always beckoning me. It's always enticing me to come over and try it and to do. And so I'm very thankful for that, and just the way that was built, and what it means to the park, and what it means to roller coasters in general, of how it just was groundbreaking with everything that it was done, and just the feeling I get, when we're just screaming and yelling and twisting our backs and getting glimpses of little things below you, especially at night. I love all that. I'm so thankful for that. And then I guess, in general speaking, with Fantasyland, it's my daughter's favorite land, my younger daughter's favorite land, and so it's just fun to be in there and to see it through her eyes. And again, she's 19, and it's just fun for me that is the only land that really she really well, she loves all the lands, but that one really amps it, takes it to 11 for her. So that's how it is for me. Yeah, Fantasyland.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And we're going to turn the corner all the way around.
Yeah, we're not going to go to. Yeah, we're going to Tomorrowland.
Yep. Okay. I will do the one thing about Toontown that I'm thankful for.
Okay.
I'm thankful that they put in a completely separate area that I can walk right by it. Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm thankful for that. But anyway, I don't. Fernando, do you want to? I mean, if you want to be thankful for something in Toontown, go for it, man.
No, like I said, I never been to a system with my family there, so that's all I have, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Okay, and then we're off into Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one thing I'm thankful for is you guys calling out that they need to do more with it. Make Tomorrowland great again. Like, there's so much just kind of wasted space and potential there.
Yes.
So I'm glad that you guys call attention to that.
Thank you. Yeah.
And you have, who doesn't love Space Mountain? But then you don't really have anything else other than that, other than like a vortex of death when they're funneling people.
Yeah. Right.
So I guess I'd be thankful for Rider Switch, because it allowed me to get on that ride with my kids. My daughter, I think she was thankful for it because she got to ride it twice. Every single time we would switch. And now that my son's tall enough, he's tall for a 3-year-old, we still do it, because now with a pregnant wife, she can't ride. So Rider Switch makes it so that we can experience like the best part of that land, and one of the better attractions in the park, without having to spend much time. So thank you, Rider Switch, and thank you guys for calling Disney out on not doing more with Tomorrowland.
Yeah, they better listen to us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree. Good for them. Yeah.
Yep. Want to go or?
I mean, yeah, Space Mountain is an easy answer for me too, especially if I know, like I've mentioned before. Gosh, if we've got 10:30 fast passes for Space Mountain, I'm stoked. I love that at night. But I guess I'm more with the theming. For as much as we complain about Tomorrowland, I still think that lagoon is beautiful, especially at dusk when if you can, I tell listeners to go up on the ramp to the monorail. And just, you don't have to ride the monorail, but just go up on the ramp and just take a picture of the lagoon with the Matterhorn in the background and the motion of the submarines going. And if you're lucky enough, the monorail does pass over there. And I'm thankful for that scene just by itself. I think it's just wonderful. And that's, again, just like Fernando, there's not a whole lot besides those two things that I'm really thankful for. Because the other two attractions, I mean, like Buzz Lightyear, I don't like. Star Tours I don't like, and that's really what it is. Oh no, I'm thankful for High School Musical being played there right now. No?
No.
Okay. All right.
All right. So, well, Space Mountain, we will all be eternally grateful for.
Yeah.
I am grateful for Star Tours. Now, it may not be for what you may think, or it might be. The main reason why I'm thankful for Star Tours because as a kid, after Return, the only thing other than Odd Special that we had Star Wars related was that.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right.
So, I consider myself lucky that we were close enough to experience it, but for a while. But that was why. I mean, it gave me my only other. I mean, because. Like I said, we didn't have anything. We had no content. You had to find an odd book or a comic book or something. But even then, it wasn't huge.
Right.
We had our toys, but that was merch, but it didn't have an experience behind it. So I'm thankful for that because it gave me my physical, tangible Star Wars for many, many years, and I'm also thankful that they've actually kept up. They started upgrading it with new stories and things like that. With the new trilogy coming, whether we like it or not, the trilogy doesn't matter because we're getting that, and then they have not sat on their hands with the new stuff. Even though we've had the discussion, does it belong anymore? And I think we're all kind of like, it doesn't really belong anymore because of Galaxy's Edge. But I'm thankful that we had that because, again, as a kid, it's the only Star Wars I had for a long time.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm thankful they put that in there. I'm thankful that they took the time. They, at the time, had new tech. It was all new tech. It was all high tech at the time. And and then with George Lucas and the Imagineers, they had the wherewithal and then the dedication to make it good. Yeah. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, that's just perfect answer.
Yeah, solid. I hadn't even thought of it that way. That's pretty spot on.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, that's why it holds. I get why people don't want to write it. I get why a lot of times when I go, I'm writing it by myself. I get it.
That's why. That's why Udi likes it because he'll get like a break from me.
Yeah, I get a break from you. I sometimes get a break from Jess when she goes. Yeah, but last time I wrote it by myself. Yeah, I thought
you wrote it with Eric. Okay. Oh, that's right. Eric wouldn't like that.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't take it. He couldn't take it.
Okay.
You gotta go. But anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We got our lands, right?
Yeah, that is all of them. But now we're gonna go to the big one. The big overall. Like, what are you thankful for in the park? Overall.
Overall.
Yeah. And Fernando, you're up, man.
Well, I think I can speak for everyone when I say I'm thankful for how much money it costs.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah, my wallet loves me for it.
Yeah.
No, it's just you guys touched on it when we were talking about Main Street. It's kind of that feeling that you get when you walk in and you know that no matter what else is going on, what problems you might be having, what stress that's on your brain for at least a little bit, you kind of get to feel back, be a kid or have those Disneyland moments, like you were saying, waving to people on the train while you're eating, and things that only happen there that kind of take away from, everything else that can be going on in your life wrong. It's yeah, I mean, obviously, is it perfect? No. Like, it is expensive. That there is things about it that could be better, but all in all, it's a person's dream. Walt Disney had a dream of having a place where he could spend, time with his kids. His original plan was to have it across from his studio so that, his kids and his family were always close by. And I think that gets kind of lost sometimes when we get a little bit too cynical with why we're going or how things are, that you think that it's, at its core, it's a place to have fun and, let your imagination kind of take over, be a kid, make memories, have fun. And when you take that into consideration and really, kind of go in with that mindset, it's, I mean, for lack of a better word, it is a magical place. And I get that I'm covered in like intentional Disney tattoos, so it might seem like I'm biased, but there's few other places that you can go and really make the kind of memories that you can there, and it like transcends not just people's backgrounds or upbringing, but also time and how much money people make. Like, there's a lot of things that you can find in common with other people when you're sharing Disney and Disneyland experiences. And yeah, I mean, just try not to be too cynical about it. Try to go and have a good time, and just really like walk in that door, look up at those plaques, read what's on them, and transport yourself into those worlds. And you'll be all right, even if you're paying $8 for a churro.
Oh yeah, true.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
Great answers. Yeah.
You want to go, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I can try to wing it.
Well, I can go if you want to.
No,
think about
I
some
got
more.
it.
All right, you got it. All right.
I'm just thankful that there's this place that, like, I guess echoing some of the things that Fernando said, that there's just this place that you can go to sort of escape the stuff of life, and things melt away that you don't want to deal with, I guess, or when life becomes too hard or too frustrating, there's a place you can always go to visit and reconnect with your friends and family. And each trip has a memory that I hold close to me from every decade, every month, every time I've ever gone. Something special has happened. And I'm thankful that a lot of people go there, and it's a very positive place where you get the energy, the positive energy, and you just feel that radiate around, and you can't help to get consumed by it. And it's it's also a place where I've mentioned before that when people collectively put their minds together, they can achieve wonderful, wonderful, positive things. And Disneyland embodies that to a T for me. I'm also thankful that, like, sometimes, like in my life lately, things have been rough, but I always have Disneyland to talk about with my daughters and to sort of like lighten the mood and stuff. And it's helped as a mechanism for that. It's one of the reasons why I do this podcast. I started it 4 years ago, was that I needed something to help relieve some of the stress in my life and talk about something that I really, really enjoy talking about. I mean, I have a great time every couple weeks talking with my friends about, churros and Space Mountain and all that kind of stuff. It's just good fun to talk about. And so I'm very thankful we have this to go to and experience and talk about relief, some of the stress of life. Yep. Yeah. So that's what it is for me.
Yeah, and kind of going off of that, the beauty and the thing I'm thankful for is that I'm thankful that we had somebody in the past by the name of Walter Elias Disney that had the thought to bring this to us. And in that moment, kind of going off what you said, Mark, embodied that no matter what, if you have a drive and you have a vision and you have a place that you're coming at it for a good and a good heart, that you can accomplish a lot of it. Doesn't mean that you're going to accomplish it. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Doesn't mean you're not going to have setbacks. It doesn't mean you're going to have, it's going to be smooth sailing. It's not. But if you look at the story of Disney and Disneyland, it's a story of perseverance and overcoming, and having a singular vision and the drive to do it. So I talk a lot about different things that different people look up to different people for different things. I don't look up to movie stars. I definitely don't look up to professional athletes. I don't. The people I look at are politicians. I don't care. But you look at people who made a true difference in this world, and we can point at Disney for that.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
For not only bringing up Disneyland, but then the Disney company, and you think about it worldwide, what it does for positivity, for having a place of happiness, for having a place where you can forget about your troubles. That is something that is not easily accomplished. And it takes special people with a special mind and a special drive to get that done. So I'm thankful for Disneyland because for Walt because he gave us that. And I'm thankful because not only I look back now at my life, I'm at that point where I can look back and have a significant chunk to look at, sadly. But I look at it, and some of my fondest memories as a child is going to Disneyland. Like I said, losing my sister, during her memorial, I haven't really told the story before, but I feel like I can say it now. I was around people who hadn't seen me in a little while, and and in that moment, after the memorial, we were talking, getting caught up, and even in that dark period right there, Disney came through, and I'll tell you, because somebody asked me, "Hey, how you been? How the standard question about when you're dealing with a loss," and I'm like, and I kind of gave my the standard responses because it's a difficult conversation to have, and they go, "Well, what are you doing? Like, what are you up to?" And I brought up the show. And I brought up, like, "Oh, really?" And they, like, subscribed to my, subscribed to the show right away. And they go, "Well, what makes you an expert on Disney?" And I kind of went, now, here's the funny part, and this is exactly directed into my childhood. As we were going through the memorial service, we had pictures coming up of family with my sister and us. And I'm going to tell you this right now. 7 to 8 out of 10 of the pictures were in Disneyland.
Oh, jeez.
And I kind of said, "What did we just watch?" And they kind of went, "Oh."
Oh,
and so for me,
that's weird.
So for me, Disneyland is that.
Yeah.
It brings family, it brings happiness, it brings all these massive amount of things together. And I'm thankful that we have it, like you said.
Yeah.
And then I will go ahead and finish up with this because if not, I'm going to go on for a while. And then it can bring me up to now. Mm-hmm. This podcast that we do. I mean, look, we're talking to Fernando. I mean, a listener, a person that we probably would have never even remotely crossed paths with.
Probably not.
Because he's down in Southern California, hours and hours, 100 miles away, hundreds of miles away.
And he's a Chargers fan.
And that would have been part of it.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Might have stabbed me at a Raiders game.
Yeah, that could have been it. I could have been kicking you and punching you as we're going through. But here we are, and we're having these. And not only that, I mean, look at who we've talked to over the course of the show. Great people, authors. I mean, great people up and down, listeners galore. We get interaction and how do we come across that? Because of Disneyland. Mm-hmm. And then I think about my life path. I mean, my personal life path of where I am now with where I'm working and the job I have and the opportunities in front of me. That would have never happened if it weren't for Disneyland. And people might go like, "No, it's crazy," but I won't go because that's a personal side of me that I go too far in.
Right.
But if people who know me, like Mark, you know the story.
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
It wouldn't happen.
Right.
It wouldn't have happened. And I sit here and go, holy crap.
Yeah.
All thanks to Disney. So I'm thankful because of all those reasons. I'm thankful for Walt for giving us this and making a direct, huge impact in my life, which I would have never envisioned being 12 or 13 or 8 or in my mid-20s.
Right.
Never would have envisioned it, but here I am, and I'm like, holy crap. Look at my life path now, and it's all thanks to Disney. That's what I'm thankful for. My life as it is now is I'm thankful because I can tie it directly to Disney.
Jeez.
And there we go.
Aren't you glad you asked, Fernando?
Yeah.
He's
No,
like,
man. Thanks for sharing. I mean, I know it's not easy, and then in a sense, you're kind of having to like relive a conversation and all the things centered around losing your sister and stuff. But the fact that you were able to share it, and like you said, probably wouldn't have crossed paths unless it was like getting jumped at a Raiders game or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the kind of thing that it does. Like you open up and you're sharing like some pretty personal stuff. I mean, I shared the stuff regarding my mom and stepdad, and it's just the kind of that's the kind of place that it is. I don't know. Like it's kind of hard to put into words sometimes, but it's more than just a theme park, I think. And
I agree.
think for anyone who's taken the time to listen or to interact or to even have like a podcast about it, it speaks volumes to the legacy that like Walt's left behind and what it really means to most people. So
Yeah.
I appreciate the answer, man. That was awesome.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I can go on, but yeah. Oh.
Okay.
I need a second. No, I'm fine.
Okay. Oh, Udi doesn't ever take a second.
Anyway, okay.
All right. Put you on LTP therapy or something, Udi.
I know. I wasn't really. That kind of came out of left field. I wasn't expecting
That's
to go
okay.
there, but
That's what happens.
kind of went down that way. Yep.
Yeah. Well, we are thankful for you, Fernando, for listening to this show
Very,
and
very true, my
supporting
friend.
it for as long as you have. And it really means everything to us that we can talk to listeners and, with someone like you that we would have never met before, and we consider you part of the LTP family.
Absolutely.
So we're very thankful for you, Fernando.
Very true. Very, very true. Yeah.
And likewise, you guys have gotten me through some difficult drives. When I see that the new episode is out and I play it on my way into work, that's usually when I listen, I get a little bit of that Disneyland feeling, that okay, I'm going to the parks or I'm in the parks feeling.
Awesome.
So that's something that I'm thankful for, and being able to kind of interact and watch you guys grow. The guests that you guys have had on the show, it's like, it's amazing. Some of the people you guys talked to said it earlier. I've got a kindergarten Disneyland education. I'm eating crayons in the corner, and then you guys bring it into Disney PhD. Is awesome because it's stuff that I would never get to listen to or know that exists, and you get different perspectives, backstory, history, like just stuff that it's not like simple stuff. It's awesome, and to see what you guys started with and how you guys have grown, like I'm glad to just even be a small part of that.
Oh,
yeah. I'm thankful for what you guys bring. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Misty eyed now.
I know. I'm like, I need a moment. I need a moment. It's raining. It's raining inside the house, man.
Yeah, there's a leak in the roof or something. Misty eyed here.
Yep.
Gosh, yeah, I don't know.
Yep. Well, how do we wrap up the show?
I mean, we don't, except that we wrap it up. Except that we've got the 100th episode coming up soon, and we're gonna try to make it where we're gonna have listeners on.
Yeah, so stand by for a DM.
I've got his number now.
Yeah, stand by for a text or something. We're trying to figure out. We literally right before we started recording had like, hey. And this was Aaron. I think it was Aaron's idea. Like, hey, why don't you guys do that? And I think it's a fantastic idea. So,
okay. Until
we get it squared away, I don't want to.
Oh, jinx it. Yeah. So that is coming up. So that's how I guess. And we're always going to be doing the show. It's an important part of what we've become now. I mean, believe me, there have been times where I'm like, I got to mix, or I got to edit, or we have to. Yep. But we've been, pretty diligent for the past 4 years of making sure we get something out there for people every 2 weeks, because I know it's important. It always blows me away that it's important to people, but it is, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you don't want us rioting at the parks.
No, you don't. You don't. But I don't know. Udi's going to be down there in a couple of weeks, so maybe you guys can sync up or something.
Yeah, let me know, man. I will be down there 13, 14, and 15. 15. Yeah. So if you can come by, man, let me know.
I will definitely see if I can do that.
Yep, we'll be there. I'm going to be there with Joey from Disney Universe. We're going to have Corey from All Aboard, and then Ryan, which is co-host of Joey. So we're going to have like 3 different podcasts. Well, 4 now because of the Mando show.
Okay, yeah.
So 4 of them, yeah. Represented down there. It should be fun.
Cool.
And we are planning on drinking while we're there, just so you know.
Cool. So I'll try not to get arrested before then.
Hey, that would be
link
epic.
up one of those 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't make it so we have to bail you out, man.
At that point, just leave me. I've had a good run.
All right. Well, man, thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to hang out with us and talk about Disneyland. We will definitely do it again.
Oh, for sure. I appreciated it, guys. It was fun.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad you had fun talking.
Yeah, I absolutely did.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, we will definitely be in touch, Fernando.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks, man. Thank you again for everything, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye.
So, again, we want to say thank you so much for Fernando for taking time out of his evening to hang out with us. That was awesome.
Yep.
I loved it.
Yeah, one of the things that I mentioned it earlier, and I'm going to say it again, our listeners are fantastic.
They're everything.
You guys are amazing, and the ability to have conversations with you on so many levels is amazing. And and then he's a Patreon, so we do that as a Patreon thing.
Yes.
And it's great. I mean, everyone we've had on as a Patreon, I love it. I love the interaction. I love the family. I love the LTP fam. No way around it.
No, exactly what you said. I am very thankful for listeners all of our listeners, but people like Fernando.
Mm-hmm.
It makes everything worthwhile doing for us, and even if we had one listener, I'd be blown away. But we've got a few, so a few. So yeah. So I'm just beyond grateful and thankful that we do that, and everyone we've met is very, very, very cool.
They're amazing people. Yeah, I mean amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so that's going to wrap up episode 98. Of course, 99 is just around the bend. We're going to start a new series after probably 101, series 101, episode 101. And not to be confused with 101 with Jess. That's a whole lot of 101s going on. But we're going to start going to go through the attractions each episode, talk about its past, its present, and our thoughts about its future within the park. And I put them all in a randomizer, and the first one is, oddly enough, Astro Orbiter. Yeah, and you know what? It's an interesting story about Astro Orbiter, so you shall stay tuned for that.
Yep.
So we don't know what's going on in 99. Probably something cool. I don't know. Always. Or I could coax Udi to do a trip report. We'll see.
No, I don't want to.
You don't want to do
No,
that?
I'm kidding. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
do one.
Okay, cool. With your fancy phone, too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love my phone. You should get one.
I'm going to. Yeah.
Good man. You're going to like it.
I will. So, Udi, where can they find you?
You can find me on all of my socials, which are Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, which are all HAXGOALIE, Haxgoli. You can also find me on my other podcast show called The Mando Show, which we talk about The Mandalorian. And we are halfway through that series. And if you want to catch a much deeper conversation about each episode, we do a breakdown and a little bit more.
Okay.
But if you want to, The Mando Show, you can find it on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes.
Okay.
And whatnot. And that show has Joey from Disney Universe, and has my good friend Chad, who is a Mando Merc and a 501st member, and then my older brother, which is always fun because, older brother, little brother.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
we
good.
get into it a little bit.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. To reach out to us, you can send us email at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. Find us on Instagram at Leaving Today Podcast. Facebook is Leaving Today Podcast, and Twitter is Leaving Today Pod. Thanks again so much for your support. If you want to if you want to be part of what Fernando just did, hit us up on Patreon, and we'll get you in. We know those guys at the LTP. They're nice guys.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in the parks.
See ya. 2 weeks.
Let's get going because I got
Okay.
tacos waiting for me.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going. Am I coming over or no?
No,
Right.
put your phone away from your stuff. I like cake for the 3 of us.
I know. Jessica Aurora Farfan.
No.
What are you doing?
Definitely not.
Kitty.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Boy, was my face red.
Can we do that again?